Hello, people. How have you been? All right. So, the topic before us today is changing fractions to decimals. Yeah, when we have the last time we treated fractions, I told you when we have numbers like this, we have a number above the division line and we have another number below the division line. So this number above the division line is called the numerator, while the number below the division line is called the denominator. All right, so we want to learn how to change fractions into decimals. Decimals are numbers that have they have points with extra figures after the decimal points. So we want to learn how to convert these figures, these fractions, into decimals. So I wrote this out. This is 1/5. Now we actually have two methods of changing from fractions to decimal. We have the method where we have to change the denominator into multiples of 10. Multiples of 10, like 10. You try to make the denominators 10, 100, 1000. Just make it a multiple of 10. And then we have the long division method. So I'll try to do both, and then you pick the one that you feel will be quite easy for you to do. So let me start with changing denominators to multiples of 10. Now look at this denominator. What can I do to 5 that will make it a multiple of 10? If I multiply 5 by 2, it will give me 10, isn't it? So whatever I use to multiply the denominator is what I will also use to multiply the numerator. 1 times 2 will give me 2. 5 times 2 will give me 10. Now this fraction has the denominator to be a multiple of 10. Now the next thing to do, look at the denominator. We have 10. How many zeros does 10 have? It has just 1 0, isn't it? So now we go to the numerator and then we move our decimal point. Now whenever you have a whole number usually have an invisible decimal point. It's not visible, but it has an invisible decimal point at the end of the number. So when we have just 1 0 here, we move our decimal point to the left just once. So it means my decimal point will be here, and then this I'll have my 0. So it means my answer is, okay, let me write it here. My answer is 0.2. Easy peasy. Let me try it with this second example. I have 3/4. I need to make the denominator a multiple of 10. You need to make it 10, 100, or 1000. What do you think I can do to 4 that would give me that? 4 cannot go in 10, so we have to use 100. 4 times 25 will give me 100. You just have to think. You need to figure out what you would do to the denominator that will give you exactly what you want. I can't make this 10 because 4 cannot go in 10, but 4 can go in 100. 4 can go in 125 times. So I multiply the denominator by 25, and then I'll do the same thing to my numerator. 25 times 3 is 75. 25 times 4 is 100. Now look at the denominator. How many zeros do I have? I have 2 zeros. Remember, there is always an invisible decimal point after a whole number, and whenever you're dividing, this slash in between the number, in between the two numbers, it means we are dividing. Whenever you're dividing, you move your decimal point to the left. You move your decimal point through the digits towards the left hand side. Okay, so now we're dividing by 100. It has 2 zeros. What do? We move the decimal point twice because we have 2 zeros below the division line. So let's go. Let's move 1 and 2. It means my decimal point will be here. And then when you have your decimal point here, you put your 0 in front, and then my answer will be 0.75. Easy peasy, isn't it? It's not difficult using this method. All right, let's use the long division method. Remember, my fraction is 1/5. If we use the long division method, the number in the denominator will be outside, while the numerator will be inside the division. Remember, numerator will be inside, denominator outside. Numerator inside, denominator outside. Okay? All right, let's go. So now, remember when we did our long division, I told you we can go through it using 4 steps. Daddy, mommy, sister. Sorry, let me use this sign instead. Daddy, mommy, sister, brother. That is division, multiplication, subtraction, and bring down. That is daddy, mommy, sister, brother. If you can remember this, you will remember the steps for division. So now the first thing to do is to divide. 5 in 1. Can 5 go in 1? 5 cannot go in 1. So I put my 0 here with my points because that is impossible. So now, since I've put my 0 and points, I need to add 0 here. 5 cannot go in 1. That was why I put my 0 and my decimal point. So now I have 10. Now, how many times will 5 go in 10? 5 will go in 10 2 times. 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtraction. 0 minus 0 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. And I told you, whenever you're doing your long division and you get to when you have no figure here, it means you're done with your long division. So can you see my answer? I got 0.2. Can you see it's also the same thing here? 0.2. So you can either use this method or use this method depending on which of the method you would like to do. All right, let's do same with 3/4. Remember, numerator inside, denominator outside. Numerator inside, denominator outside. All right, so 4 in 3. Can 4 go in 3? No, it can't. So I write my 0 and my decimal point, and then I add my 0 here to make it 30. Now 4 can go in 30. How many times do you think 4 can go in 30? 4 can go in 30. How many times do you think 4 can go in 30, everybody? 4 can go in 37 times. 7, because 4 times 7 is 28. Now we multiply. 7 times 4 is the same thing as 4 times 7. 4 times 7 is 28. Now take away. 0 take away 8 is impossible. I'll borrow 1 from 3. I'll be left with 2 here. Put that 1 here. That'll make it 10. Now 10 take away 8 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. I don't need to write it. 0 means nothing. So now we'll continue with our division. 4 in 2. Is it possible? No. I'll add my 0. That will make it 20. Now 4 in 20 will give me 5. 5 times 4 will give 20, and then 20 minus 20 will give me 0. Easy peasy. Can you see it? Easy peasy. So I got my 0.75, which is also the same answer I got here. So which do you think is shorter and easier? Will you go with this method or you go with this method? Anyone that you think is easy for you to do. But I actually prefer this, because all you have to do is just change the denominator to either 10. You try, but there are some figures that might not obey these rules, so you have no choice than to use the long division. But if you know you can change the denominator to either to 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, just go ahead and use this method, and to be super easy and even faster than using this. Okay, I hope you were able to understand how to change from fractions to decimals. Remember, we can use two methods. We can either change the denominators to multiples of 10, or we use the long division method. In our next tutorial, we'll be talking about how to change from decimals to fraction. Yes, we'll be learning how to change from decimals to fractions. You know, we learned how to change from fractions to decimals. Next time we will learn how to change from decimals back to fractions. All right, so we'll end the class here. I hope you really enjoyed the lessons today, and I hope you'll be able to solve more questions on this, because the more you practice, the better you will be at this. All right, thank you. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please put on the notification button so you would get notified whenever I post new videos. All right, see you later. Bye bye.